Goats are on the go. Farmers in Zimbabwe are reaping multiple benefits from producing goats. This is Asake Online. Welcome to Agriculture on Site. In today's episode, we're discussing everything goats. The Goat Breeders Association of Zimbabwe is holding an important Indaba. To learn more and hear more about this important function, I'm joined by special guests. Sifiso Agbetorwoka, who is the chair of the Goat Breeders Association of Zimbabwe, and Yvonne Sibanda, who is the event coordinator of the Indaba. Welcome both.
Thank you. Yvonne, let's just start with you.
What and why the Goat Indaba?
The Goat Indaba is an annual event. This will be our 5th edition. We're very proud of it. So as an association, we thought that we needed to go out there and get everyone involved in goats. Because when we all grew up, we knew goats, but we didn't know them as a business. So the Goat Breeders Association now shows people that no, you can actually live off goats, have a good life off goats. So the Indaba is a 4-day event that is organized by the association to get the members together and also to share with the whole of Zimbabwe and the world the business side of goats.
When is this happening and what's the theme of the Indaba?
Okay, so the Indaba is happening from the 23rd of October to the 26th of October. This year, it's going to be in Bulawayo. It's alternated between Bulawayo and Harare. So this year, it's going to be in Bulawayo. And our theme for this year is preserving the indigenous goats, understanding the breed standards of the Matebele goat and the Mashona goat. So we chose this theme because we've noticed that as goat breeders, we are really, really into exotic goats. And if we're not careful, we're going to breed out or crossbreed our indigenous goat out of existence. So farmers, aspiring farmers, and everyone that is a goat or an indigenous goat, please don't look down on it. It can also be commercialized, hence the theme.
Please, if you could actually then break down for us, that we are holding this great Indaba. Wasn't it not only for goat farmers, but anybody else who desires to actually go into goat farming?
Yes. So, you know what? We thought that as an association, you need to grow and you need to go out there and make an impact. So the first day is a basic training course. So this one, if you know nothing about goats, this one is for you. If you've had or you're an entrepreneur and you think, okay, so what other business can I get into? And mind you, the business here, goat, it's got a value chain. It's not only goat breeding. There is the value addition on all products. You can value add on the skin, you can value add on the meat, you can value add on the milk. So everyone that wants to be into the space or just an entrepreneur, you just want to make money, come. So the basic training day 1 is just going to be the basic layman's term on how to be involved in the goat breeders, where to get the goats, how to keep the goats, how to make money, and what you need to start. That's our first day.
Right, and then subsequently on other days?
Yes, and then day two is the Indaba day. I know we all love Indabas, but we've tried to make the Indaba a bit different. So our Indaba is basically where we get experts in the field. You wanna breed goats, but you don't know the licenses, the clearances that are needed, the food that is needed, the nutrition, the vaccines. So on the Indaba, this is what we do. We get the expert people to come in, and then we've got discussions. We'll get some people that are going to give us maybe like a presentation. Then you're going to have a question and answer. Then you're going to have panelists. And it's just going to be very, very nice to be part of the Indaba. So day 1, basic course. Day 2, Indaba. And then on the 3rd day and the 4th day, we have what is called the junior course. I know the name is a bit misleading, but it's what the owners of the course call it. So the junior course is a course offered by the South African Boer Goat Breeders Association. So here now, day 3, day 4, we invite the president of the South African Boer Goat Breeders Association, Mr. Cobus Slaughter, to actually tell us. These are the experts. These are the people that have actually grown the Boer goat. Remember, the Boer goat has been developed over years. So they know how they developed it, and they know how to maintain the standards. So this course is for specifically people that are doing the Boer goat, the Kalahari Red, and the Savannah. So this is a 2-day course. You're learning, and you're going to come out there knowing what a Boer goat is, knowing how to breed your Boer goats and your Kalahari Red goats and your Savannah. And after this one, there's actually an exam. So you write that exam, you pass, and you get your certificate. Now you hold what is called a junior course certificate. So this certificate is good because it grows into something. It's the first thing when you actually want to grow in the Boer goats and Kalahari and Savannah goats, because after that you can actually do what they call a senior course, and after some senior courses you can actually go for an inspector, and now you become an inspector of these exotic goats. And I know this is actually important in Zimbabwe because everyone loves these exotic goats, and people are breeding them. They grow faster, they look nicer, they've got more meat, the cages are big, and you also get more very fast. So that is day 3 and day 4.
Interesting. I thought, breeding goats, you could just do it on the blind or on the fly, really. But now you're talking about having to do a course and become an expert. Then I wonder how easy is it for anyone, who's actually interested in going to these goats to attend this Indaba? Or what is the investment?
The investment is worth it. Remember, everyone can do whatever they set their mind on. But if you decide that you want to be a doctor, you go into medical school and you learn. If you decide you want to be a goat breeder of these goats, attend the junior course and learn. Anyone can learn, and it's all about your passion. It's all about, I want to do this, and you get this done. And I wouldn't say you are going to learn everything and be an expert in those 2 days, but you've got a starting point. After that, the association is there. There are some people that have been doing this for 5 years, some 10 years, some 2 years. So now you've got a network of people around you where you can ask questions, where you can grow. In farming, you learn something new every day, and you grow every day. So the junior course is a good starting point, but I wouldn't say do the junior course and you're an expert. It's going to take you years and years of experience to be an expert, just like everything else we do in life.
Sounds very interesting. So maybe Yvonne could tell us where will this Goat Indaba be happening, and also is it for free? Do people actually pay to actually attend the Indaba?
Yes. So the Goat Indaba is going to be happening in Benside at Grand Palm Lodge. It's easy to access on Circular Drive. So we've got some fees that we've put, but because we understand people have different needs, so we've split the fees. You'll find that the day 1, the basic course, has a special fee for the members, obviously cheaper. And then we also have an early bird. If you buy in September, your ticket is cheaper than if you buy in October. And then the day 2 has also a separate fee. And then the day 3 and the day 4, it's one course. So this one also has a separate fee. So the advantage also with attending these courses is we're going to have an auction. So if you're attending these courses, the ticket price includes you attending the auction. So my number is 0771 967 856. I'll take it again, 0771 967 856. Also on the page, you can even send a message. We'll respond there.
Let me turn to you, Sifiso. One of the interesting things that has been discussed while you're actually holding this Indaba is to bring farmers together and want to promote networking and actually knowledge sharing. Why is this so important?
Thank you very much. It's important to bring farmers together for purposes of networking and learning together. And I'm sure our viewers may have come across even articles about the huge demand for goats and goat meat, not just locally, but also globally. Now, if I'm working on my own in isolation and an opportunity to supply the Middle East with goat meat, will I be able to do that on my own? No, I won't be able to do that. But if I work with a network of farmers who are also doing what I'm doing, then it's easy for us to collaborate and supply together. And it's a win-win situation. I think it's important for farmers to move away from the idea of operating in silos. And we learn to work together and collaborate. And this can only come through such events as the Goat Indaba, and also being part of an association, the Goat Breeders Association of Zimbabwe being one, but there are many other associations that farmers can affiliate themselves to in order to benefit from the pool of knowledge and expertise that is available, that each member brings to the table.
No, yeah, interestingly, because knowledge is power in farming, as it were. And I note that with your Goat Indaba, you are looking at promoting, further knowledge, for farmers who are actually producing, or breeding goats, as it were. I'm also keen to understand the issue of improved genetics, that you are talking about, the poor goats. Now, these are better or breeds. If you could actually tell us more, why are good genetics important?
First of all, I would just like to reassure viewers and kind of maybe demystify, especially maybe the word breeding and genetics might be intimidating for some of us, because we might think, oh my goodness, so I need a lot of money to buy these very expensive genetics, or I need to be a breeder. When we talk about breeding, we start to, we think of the cattle industry, the cattle breeders, these are big people and so on and so forth. But the goat industry in Zimbabwe is still at its infancy. The Goat Breeders Association is an umbrella body for all kinds of breeds of goats. So the theme is focused on preserving our indigenous goats, breed of goats. And this gives an opportunity for each and every one of us who wants to be involved in goat farming or in the whole value chain of goat farming to come in. Our breeds are affordable. Most of us, can save $50 to buy a very good breeding female. Most of us can save up $100, $120, $200 to buy a very good buck, a breeding buck, a Matebele buck or a Mashona buck, and you've got good genetics there. And the idea is that you continue improving on those and building up a better pool, a better seed bank for very good quality genetics. We create a good gene pool of our own very valuable and well-adapted breed of goats. We've also learned lessons from the cattle industry. We see what has happened with the Mashona breed. They had, people used to say, had Mashona breed, as if it's something terrible. But look at it now. We are importing those genetics now from where? From South Africa, from the USA, from New Zealand, and so on. So we don't want to repeat that same mistake with our own very good goats, which are well adapted to the disease profile of this country. And of course, for those who really want to go into the exotic breed of goats, your Kalahari Red, your Boer, which is of course very popular, your Savannah, there's space for that as well. And Yvonne has already talked about the junior course for those people who really want to understand the breed standards of that particular breed. So here at the Goat Indaba, we'll be conscientizing farmers or would-be farmers that there is value in our own local breeds, and let's come together and improve on the genetics of those local breeds.
Yeah, for a small scale farmer, somebody who's actually starting out, in terms of goat farming, like what is your association doing to access, you know, these good genes, these good genetics, you know, that you actually talk about?
Okay. As an association, we are working with the research stations, and here in Bulawayo, more locally, we have the Matopo research station. They are going to be joining us at the Indaba, and we are going to be teaching farmers about the breed standards and how to actually identify those standards within their own herds. If they look and they know what they are looking for, they will find that there's good enough goats to then start creating a good gene pool. What's happening at the moment is that farmers are inbreeding their goats, and over a long period of time, that has a negative impact, because as we know, the Matebele breed is a large-framed animal, but over the years, due to poor management practices, traditional ways of raising these goats, in some areas you'll find that maybe some of them are getting a bit smaller. So we want to teach farmers how to identify a good quality Matebele female, a good quality Matebele male, a breeding buck. We start from there. We're starting from ground zero, if I may say so, in terms of improving the gene pool of the Matebele and the Mashona.
And how important is it to actually have breeding standards?
Thank you. It's very, very important to have breeding standards. Number one, you are talking about preserving a particular breed. We do not want our local breed as well to be crossbred or improved out of extinction. Again, lessons we are picking up from South Africa. In South Africa, they have the Indigenous Wild Goats Association, and they are all about preserving these local breeds, the genes of these local breeds through breed standards and so on. And we see that over the years, the value of the indigenous goat in South Africa has just skyrocketed. You know, you only have to follow the auction news, follow their pages. You see that at each auction, the prices are actually going up simply because of the work that they have put in to preserve, you know, the breed standards, to preserve the genes and not crossbreed them out of extinction. Although we do accept that crossbreeding does have its place, especially in our Zimbabwean economy.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually talked about the benefits of crossbreeding, because I was about to ask that what are the advantages, really, as it were, for farmers to even go into crossbreeding, you know, and to bring in these exotic breeds, given that many local, you know, the local breeds, we just take it for granted that you don't need to apply, you know, any expertise, we just raise them as they were.
Yeah. Okay, so the main benefits of crossbreeding for most you know, farmers like myself, I do crossbreeding, and this is where I started my goat farming journey for a number of reasons. Like many farmers, I'm sure farmers can relate. I came into goat farming by pure accident. I really didn't know anything. You know, we had a drought. We Googled drought resilient farming, and goats, you know, came up. And for years, I've been farming since 2012. And in 2019, I had 37 goats, but I've always had 37 goats. The number never went up, it never went down, because I wasn't paying attention to these goats. I realized afterwards, you know, after this situation where I was forced to then look into goats as a potential business to keep my farm going, because I was faced with the possibility of having to shut down, you know, the farm, because I couldn't crop anymore because of the drought. So I went into goat farming, and of course, I approached people who were already in the space, and I sought the knowledge, because I'd made many mistakes in my farming, you know, career, through just doing things thinking, oh, anyone, you can just grow cabbages and they'll be fine. You can just have your chickens and everything will be fine. You don't need much knowledge, but it does help to have, you know, some knowledge, but don't wait until you're an expert to start. So I was advised, for many reasons, start with the local Matebele, because they are already well adapted to our environment. And I was very clear in my mind that as a long-term plan, I wanted to go into the meat production. of goats, again, these kind people advise me that, okay, if you go into the Boer goat and Kalahari Savannah, it's going to be a very expensive way of trying to produce meat for the Zimbabwean market, because you are looking at investing 400, 500, 1,000, per unit. But if you want to go fast with providing or supplying the meat market in Zimbabwe, is to start with the local breeds females, and then bring in either a Boer or a Kalahari Red and breed with those, and take advantage of their fast growth genes. They easily convert feed into meat, into muscle, and combined with ours that provide that disease resilience in them, you've got an improved goat going forward. So this is how I started, and it was a very affordable way of starting. I definitely didn't have the money to start with 30 Boer goats at maybe $300, $400 per unit. But I got started, and over time I started also buying pure breeds, just slowly building up my herd.
Right. I'm intrigued here. Like well, I call our local or indigenous goats, your Matebele and my Shona goats, are they pure indigenous goats? Because I would have a goat from my neighbor, and I will have another one from somewhere else. Can we really talk about those being pure? Or we've already done, there's already a crossbreeding there? And how then do farmers, in fact, improve on those?
That's a very good question that you raised there. There's crossbreeding, there's inbreeding as well. I think just to clarify that, yes, some of our local goats that maybe we sell out there are probably crossbred somewhere along the line, because we do have a lot of these exotic goats being raised across the country. So there is that possibility. So we can't argue 100% that yes, we know that one is a pure breed, Matebele. We'll have to go beyond that. And I don't think it's in the scope of this interview or this discussion. But then again, for those people who really, really want to know, I would like to invite them to the Goat Indaba, where we will have the people that developed the breed standards for our local breeds. They would know better, and they probably have an idea of how much of a pure breed we still have, and how far we've gone with almost depleting it through crossbreeding. But the pure breeds, they are still there. Again, I emphasize on knowing the breed standards as a starting point. We're starting from ground zero, and we are going to improve on what we have to get it to a better local breed. We have to start from somewhere. That's the honest truth.
At a time that keeping goats has always been sometimes considered that goats are a poor man's cow, as it were. But there's a great opportunity for everyone to actually participate in goat farming. I'm keen, what is your association doing to promote, goat production, for women and young people?
Yes. On this particular Goat Indaba, because we are focusing on the indigenous breeds, it does give women with the opportunity to improve, let's say, on existing herds that they have. Many women in communal areas, they probably own 1 or 2 goats over there. And we would like to help them to grow that whatever size of herd they have. And through giving people the right knowledge, this can be done. We can help them grow. And goats are easy to manage. They are easy to handle. So any woman can actually embark on this journey of raising our local breeds, which over time we should give even more value to than we currently have. And they can build up a sustainable business out of the indigenous goats. So what we are doing right now is going out there, giving information, giving education to the farmers, paying attention to keeping the goats healthy, paying attention to how we breed, and at this stage to avoid inbreeding. I know there is a place for inbreeding, but I'm not an expert in that. There are times when it's appropriate to inbreed, but that's not what we are about. We are about breeding properly without inbreeding, because we don't know, we are not experts in this. Inbreeding for a purpose, for certain bloodlines. We are not doing that just yet. Nutrition plays a vital role, because we see that out in the communal areas, goats are often enclosed for long periods of time. They are in the pen until 2 o'clock. They are let out for 2 hours. At 4 p.m., they are penned again. Now, if you are going to build a business out of that, that's not the right way of doing it. So our job, our role as an association is to conscientize farmers about ways that will enhance their existing herds and actually build a business out of it. Because going into the space of goat farming, it's a numbers game, but it's also a weights game. And with our local breeds, we can definitely improve on the weights and on the quality by giving the good nutrition and by using very good breeding females. So we are on a drive to work with communal farmers and people who will come to the Indaba Day, which is the second day. There's going to be discussions also around creating export clusters, and we'll be using the indigenous breeds. And one of the areas that we're looking at is Gwanda, which naturally is a goat space. So there's going to be discussions around that with the Zim trade and the support that's going to be availed to the farmers who are interested in this.
Wow. Well, that looks like, that sounds indeed that this is a Indaba not to be missed.
Absolutely.
There you are, goat farmers and would-be goat farmers. The Goat Indaba is happening in Bulawayo in October 2025. Make sure that you actually make a date and you participate in it. My guest today actually is Sifiso Agbetorwoka, who is the chair of the Crossbreeders Association, and Yvonne Sibanda, who is the event coordinator of the Goat Indaba that is actually happening in Bulawayo. There you are, listeners. Goats are on the go. This is the opportunity to, in fact, invest in goat production, and the Great Indaba is the meeting to be in. This is a second line, and we are actually watching Agriculture on Site. I'm your host, Busani Bafana. Do join us again next episode where we actually discussed all matters agriculture and food security. Remember to follow us on our social media platform, ZW. It is bye for now.